archived games. Read about the teams and players. Relive the big moments. Every season, the TribLive High School Sports Network is your home for high school sports. The best seat in the house is on TribHSSN.
Oh, hold on. Wow. In honor of Chris Collinsworth working the Super Bowl, the Collinsworth slide. That was terrible. I apologize. Welcome to the 2026 WPIAL Basketball Playoff Pairing Show, the February Frenzy, as we call it around here. I'm Don Rebel. We appreciate you joining us. I know a lot of teams have gotten together to find out what their destiny is. What is their density over these next couple of weeks? That's what we're here for. We'll run those down for you coming up in a moment. Just want to let you know that our broadcast here today and our playoff coverage is presented by Edgar Snyder and Associates. Go local. Go with Edgar, helping injured people since 1982. Again, our playoff coverage over the next few weeks, presented by Edgar Snyder and Associates. I will apologize ahead of time. I'm sure there are coughs coming. There are drinks coming. So bear with me as we run down the 2026 WPL brackets. Also, one shout out to Chris Harlan, my old partner in crime, the covering high school sports here at Trib HSSN. Now has moved on to do the Steeler coverage for Trib Total Media. Kudos to him. Just wanted to give him a shout out. He is missed. All right, so let's see what we got. We'll start with the girls, and we'll start in Class 6A, where there is 9 teams, so only one first-round game. That matchup is the North Hills Indians against the Mount Lebanon Blue Devils. North Hills finishing in 4th place in Section 1, 7-13. Mount Lebanon tied for 4th in Section 2 with a record of 6-14. They were playing for the number 8 seed and the opportunity to play the number 1 seed, the Cannon McMillan Big Macs, champions of Section 2, 17-4. They are the 1st seed. 4th seed goes to the Pine Richland Rams, co-section champions in Section 2. Big victory over Seneca Valley to force a tie for 1st place. 15-7 are the Rams. They will play the Seneca Valley Raiders, the team they defeated and ended up sharing a section crown with. The Raiders 13-6. That's the 5-4 game. Seneca Valley at Pine Richland. That game is set for Friday, February 20th at 7 p.m. The girls, the Mount Lebanon North Hills winner at Cannon McMillan is Thursday, February 19th at Cannon McMillan. That's a 6 p.m. start. 3 seed goes to the Norwin Knights, runners up in Section 2, 16-4. They will host rivals Hempfield. The Spartans 13-9 tied Mount Lebanon for 4th place in Section 2. And defending champion Upper St. Clair gets the 3 seed, USC 11-10, will be taking on North Allegheny. These two have met in the championship a couple of times. NA, the 3rd place team out of Section 1 with a record of 10-11. That game is on Friday, February 20th, set for 7 p.m. at Upper St. Clair High School. The Hempfield Norwin game, Friday, 7 o'clock at Norwin High School. So kind of interesting in that they decided to go with 2 teams from the same section head-to-head. It is the quarterfinals. It's not first round, but Hempfield, Norwin, and then Seneca Valley and Pine Richland. All right, let's go to Class 5A tournament. Everybody looking up at South Fayette. They are the team to beat, no question about it. The Lions are the number 1 seed, and they will be taking on the Kiski area Cavaliers. By the way, South Fayette 21-1. Kind of heavy favorites to win this 5A tournament. Kiski area 11-10, the number 4 team out of Section 2 of Class 5A. That game Friday, the 13th 7:30 at South Fayette High School. The number 8 seed is the West Allegheny Indians. They finished in second place behind South Fayette in Section 3 with a record of 17-4. They will face the 9 seed Trinity Hillers. That they are the number 3 team out of Section 4, a record of 15-6. Trinity at West Allegheny, Friday, February 13th at 7 p.m. Staying on the left side of the bracket, the number 4 seed, the Baldwin Highlanders. Baldwin finished second in Section 4, record of 17-4. They will host the 13th seed Chartiers Valley Colts. CV ended up with a record of 8-14, still finished in third place in Section 3. That game Friday, 7 o'clock at Baldwin. Plum is the number 5 seed, champions of Section 3, Section 1, record of 17-4 for the Stangs. They will host defending champion Peters Township. They finished in 4th place, had to beat Bethel Park to get into the postseason on the final night of section play. 4th place in Section 4 of 5A. They won it all a year ago. 12th seed, Peters Township at Plum game Friday, 7 o'clock at Plum High School. All right, other side of the bracket. In girls Class 5A, the number 2 seed, the Thomas Jefferson Jaguars. Outstanding season, 20-2 as champions of Section 4. Section 4 in Class 5A. 20-2. Jaguars hosting the Penn Hills Indians. Penn Hills, the 3rd place team out of Section 1, record of 11-10. Penn Hills at Thomas Jefferson Friday at 7 o'clock. 7th seed, the Fox Chapel Foxes. Big win to secure second place. They beat Plum on the final night of section play. They come in with a record of 14-8, and they will be home to the Latrobe Wildcats, the number 3 team out of Section 2 5A, record of 11-7. Latrobe at Fox Chapel on Friday at 7:30. Indiana, the Little Indians, co-champions in Section 2. They had a record of 19-3. They get the number 3 seed, and they will host the Mars Fighting Planets. Mars, a record of 9-12, 4th place out of Section 3. Beat Char Valley, finished strong, actually, in the regular season. The long trek to Indiana for the Fighting Planets, Friday, 7 o'clock at Indiana High School. And finally, 6th seed, the Penn Trafford Warriors, PT finishing in second, or co-champions with Indiana in Section 2, 16-5 their record. They will host neighboring Franklin Regional. The Panthers finished in 4th place in Section 1, 12-10 their record. That game Friday, 7 o'clock at Penn Trafford High School. That's the full 16-team bracket in girls 5A. Let's go to girls Class 4A now. The number 1 seed. And there was some debate here. Would it be Blackhawk again? Would it be Oakland Catholic? Number 1 seed goes to the Blackhawk Cougars. Undefeated champions of Section 2, Blackhawk 20-0. They will host they will have a first-round bye, 2 byes in Class 4A. A bye to Blackhawk. They will play the winner of the 8-9 game. The 8th seed is the Hampton Talbots, the number 3 team out of Section 4, 14-7. Hampton will be home to the 9th seed Burrell Buccaneers, the number 3 team out of Section 1 with a record of 15-7. Burrell at Hampton is Monday, February 16th at 7 p.m. with the winner getting top seed Blackhawk. 4th seed, champions of Section 3, the Bell Vernon Leopards, record of 19-3, very young team to watch. They are home in the first round. They will be playing the 13th seed Lincoln Park Leopards. They finished tied for 4th place with Hopewell in Section 2, record of 10-12. Leopards v. Leopards, cat fight, Monday, February 16th at Bell Vernon High School. 5th seed, the team that finished behind Elizabeth Forward in Section 3. Elizabeth Forward, Warriors 16-5. The 5 seed will host the Hopewell Vikings. So you get the 2 teams that finished 1 and 2 in Section 3 against the 2 teams that finished tied for 4th in Section 2. Hopewell record of 6-14, beating Ambridge on Saturday to get into the playoffs. They're getting healthy. They've had some injuries. Hopewell at EF Monday, 7 o'clock at Elizabeth Forward High School. Bottom of the bracket, the number 2 seed is the defending champions, Oakland Catholic. Eagles winning it all in Section 1, record of 18-2. They get themselves a first-round bye. They will await the winner of the 7-10 game. The 7 seed is the South Park Eagles. South Park finished in 3rd place in Section 3, right behind Bell Vernon and EF, record of 14-8. 10th seed is the Freeport Yellow Jackets, the 4th place team out of Section 1 with a record of 12-9. Freeport at South Park, and that game is Monday at 7 p.m. 3rd seed, Molly Rotman's North Catholic Trojans. They can go get the bus on time. North Catholic, the runners-up in Section 1, 17-5 record. They will take on the Laurel Highlands Mustangs, the 5th place team out of Section 3. Laurel Highlands, a record of 8-14. Monday, 7 o'clock at North Catholic. That's Monday the 16th at 7 o'clock, 1 week from tonight. Laurel Highlands at North Catholic. And finally, the number 6 seed, the Beaver Bobcats. They finished 2nd to Blackhawk in Section 2, record of 14-7. Beaver will take on the Mount Pleasant Vikings, the number 4 team out of Section 3, with a record of 10-11. Mount Pleasant at Beaver, Monday at 7 o'clock. That's girls 4A, 14-team playoff field there. Now let's go to girls class 3A. I'm not sure that there was much debate in class 3A girls as far as who would be number 1. Shady Side Academy gets the draw. They will have a first-round bye. Shady Side Academy in a 16-team playoff field. Champions of Section 2 beat Greensburg Central Catholic twice. Remember, they beat them twice last year and lost to them in the finals. 19-2 for the Bulldogs. They will play the winner of the 8-9 game. That contest is set for Friday, February 13th, 7 o'clock. 8 seed, a team that Shady Side Academy is familiar with. The Avonworth Antelopes, they finished 3rd in Section 2, record of 11-11. They will be taking on the Riverside Panthers, number 4 team out of Section 1 with a record of 14-7. Riverside at Avonworth Friday at 7 p.m. The number 4 seed, the Quaker Valley Quakers, runners-up in Section 1, 15-6. Mimi Thera, one of the top players in the district, headed to the University of Maryland. She has been fantastic. Quakers have been fantastic. They will be home welcoming the number 13 seed Keystone Oaks Golden Eagles. Keystone Oaks out of Section 3 finished in 3rd place with a record of 12-8. KO at QV Friday, February 13th at Quaker Valley High School at 7 p.m. 5th seed is the Seton LaSalle Rebels, champions of Section 3, record of 14-7. They will host the Stowe Rocks, or they will play. Let me correct myself. They will play the Stowe Rocks Vikings, one of 2 teams that tied for 5th place in Section 1. Stowe Rocks 8-11. Stowe Rocks against Seton LaSalle, that game at South Fayette this Friday, the 13th at 6 p.m. Opposite side of the bracket in Class 3A girls, number 2 seed, Beaver Falls, undefeated until this past Saturday when they lost to Neshannock. The Tigers get the number 2 seed, 20-1. What a season for the Fighting Tigers. They will be home to the South Allegheny Gladiators. South Allegheny finished in 5th place in Section 2, a record of 7-15. South Allegheny at Beaver Falls Friday at 7 p.m. 7th seed, the Waynesburg Central Raiders, the number 2 team out of Section 3, record of 19-2. They will take on the Deer Lakes Lancers out of Section 2. They finished in fourth place with a record of 11-9. Deer Lakes at Waynesburg Central Friday, the 13th at 7 p.m. Number 3 seed, two-time champion, Greensburg Central Catholic, won it all in Class 3A last year, won it all in 2A 2 years ago. GCC runner-up in Section 2 with a record of 16-5. They will take on the Mohawk Warriors, 8-13, tied for fifth place out of Section 1. Mohawk against Greensburg Central Catholic, Friday, 6 p.m. at Fox Chapel High School, neutral site for the Warriors and the Centurions. And finally, old buddy Don Eckerly leads Our Lady of the Sacred Heart into the tournament again. They are the number 6 seed, 16-5. They finished in third in Section 1. They will be taking on the McGuffey Highlanders. McGuffey, fourth place in Section 3, 12-10. McGuffey at Our Lady of the Sacred Heart, Friday at 7 p.m. So that's girls 3A, 15 teams. The bye goes to Shady Side Academy as the top seed. All right, let's go to Class 2A now. This is girls. These games will be on Tuesday, February 17th, these first-round games. It's a full slate of 16 teams. Number 1, Neshannock, runners-up a year ago. The Lancers 18-3, really do look like the team to beat in Class 2A. Their postseason begins as they host Brentwood, the number 4 team out of Section 2 with a record of 5-16. Tuesday, 7 o'clock for Brentwood at Neshannock. 8th seed is the California Trojans, runners-up in Section 3 with a record of 11-9. They will host the Laurel Spartans, fourth-place team, and a good fourth-place team, out of Section 1, a record of 12-10. All 4 playoff teams getting top 9 seeds. That tells you what the committee thought of Section 1. Laurel at California Tuesday, February 17th at 7 p.m. 4th seed is the Fort Cherry Rangers, champions of Section 2 with a record of 15-5. In the first round, the Rangers will host the Riverview Raiders, the number 4 team out of Section 4 in Class 2A, a record of 10-8. Riverview at Fort Cherry, Tuesday the 17th at 7 p.m. Finally, on this side of the bracket, the 5th seed is the Rochester Rams, runners-up in Section 1, record of 12-8. Wasn't that long ago. They were winning 3 consecutive Class A championships. Rochester will be hosting Apollo Ridge. Vikings. The tied for second place. They were tied with Riverview and Jeanette, 3-way tie for second place behind Winchester Thurston in Section 4 of Class 2A. Apollo Ridge with a record of 12-10. Vikings at Rams Tuesday, February 17th at 7 p.m. All right, let's go to the other side of the bracket in Class 2A. Who gets the number 2 seed? Winchester Thurston. The Bears, champions of Section 4, record of 17-3, get the 2 seed. They will take on the 15th seed Bentworth Bearcats, 9-12, the 4th place team out of Section 3. Bentworth against Winchester Thurston, Tuesday, February 17th, 6 p.m. That game being played at Keystone Oaks High School. The 7th seed is the Burgettstown Blue Devils, runners-up in Section 2, record of 16-6. They will be hosting the Jeanette Jayhawks. Jeanette, like Apollo Ridge, like Avella, like Riverview, tied for second place in Section 4. Hawks 15-6. Jeanette at Burgettstown Tuesday at 7 p.m. All right, we continue in 2A girls. 3 seed is the Chartiers Houston Buccaneers, champions of Section 3, record of 18-3. They will host the Southside Rams in round 1 of the postseason. Southside in Class 2A, finishing in 3rd place in Section 2. Rams with a final record of 9-12. Southside at Chartiers Houston Tuesday at 7 p.m. Finally, the 6th seed is the defending champs, the Aliquippa Quips, record of 14-7. They finished in 3rd place in Section 1. They will be hosting the Beth Center Bulldogs. BC, 3rd place in Section 3 with a record of 10-10. Beth Center at Aliquippa on Tuesday, the 17th. All right, one more for the girls. It's Class A, smaller tournament. In Class A girls, the number 1 seed goes, well, that's not right. Class A girls. See if we can do this again. And it's wrong. All right. So the WPIAL has the wrong link up. We'll take a break. We'll get the Class A girls. We will also get to the boys when the WPIAL playoff pairing show continues on the TribLive High School Sports Network.
This is Miles. He needs PT. Jess needs training. And Max needs both. And while they're all athletic, at AHN Sports Medicine, we know they each need a little something different to hit their goals. Our doctors and specialists pinpoint that difference and make a personalized plan to improve Miles's backswing and Max's throwing arm and Jess's form. Because at AHN Sports Medicine, we see you.
Stay plugged into local high school sports with TribLive HSSN. Catch live game broadcasts, in-depth articles, exclusive interviews, and weekly podcasts covering the teams and athletes you care about. Follow HSSN on Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, and Spotify for highlights, breaking updates, and behind-the-scenes content you won't find anywhere else. TribLive HSSN, your source for high school sports.
Hi, I'm Adam Goodnack, and I'm a student in Seton Hill University's Wukich School of Nursing. I did my clinical rounds throughout the COVID-19 pandemic, and it strengthened my belief in the path that I chose. I could really feel that I was making an impact. The faculty in my coursework at Seton Hill has prepared me to dive right into my field. I've received personalized support and expert guidance. I'm moving forward as a nurse of tomorrow at Seton Hill University.
Do you need custom printed materials for your school or organization? Hosting a fundraiser or special event? PrintSource can help. Visit printpittsburgh.com for a free quote on yard signs or banners, flyers and stickers, invitations, program books and tickets, even yearbooks. We are your single source solution for printed materials, signage, and so much more. Visit us online at printpittsburgh.com. PrintSource. Design, print, deliver.
The Rebel Yell podcast will keep you in the game all season long with 4 fresh episodes a week. Host Don Rebel highlights the team of the week, boys and girls players of the week, and delivers weekly updates for boys and girls hoops. Listen on tribhssn.triblive.com or stream on Spotify.
You're watching WPIAL basketball on the TribLive High School Sports Network.
All right, back. Don Rebel with you. It's the WPIAL basketball playoff pairing show on the TribLive High School Sports Network. It is presented by Edgar Snyder and Associates. Our good friends will be sponsoring once again or presenting our WPIAL playoff coverage. Go with Edgar, helping injured people since 1982. They've been fantastic sponsors of us here at the TribLive High School Sports Network. Still can't find Class A. The brackets the WPIAL sent me, they have each of the 6 classifications, but in Class A, you click on Class A and it says 2A. I'm good. I'm not that good. So we'll try to figure that out ASAP. Let's go to the boys who are waiting patiently. And our special guest is also waiting patiently. We get to him coming up in a couple minutes. All right, let's run down the Class 6A WPIAL playoffs. Now, great debate here as far as who would be the number one seed. Would it be co-champion Upper St. Clair? Would it be from Section 2? Would it be the champion of Section 1, Newcastle, both with only one loss all year? Kind of sort of felt bad. Central Catholic sort of got lost in the shuffle of those debates. But it is Upper St. Clair that gets the number one seed. They will have a first round bye. They're into the quarterfinals. They will play the winner of the lone first round game in Class 6A. No, that's not true. There are actually 3 first round games in Class 6A. But Upper St. Clair, first round bye. They'll play the winner of the 8-9 game. USC, by the way, record of 20-1. Number 8 seed is the Fox Chapel Foxes. They finished tied for 4th place in Section 1 with a record of 12-9, and they will host the Norwin Knights. They finished tied for 5th place in Section 2 with a record of 11-11. Norwin at Fox Chapel is Monday, the 16th at 7 p.m. in that game at Fox Chapel High School, with the winner going on to play number 1 seed Upper St. Clair. Number 4 seed is Seneca Valley. They don't have to worry about a first-round game. They are into the quarterfinals. Raiders finished in 3rd place in Section 1 with a record of 13-8. They will take on the Hempfield Spartans. Hempfield finished in 3rd place in Section 1, record of 15-7. That game to be determined, the site. So it's a quarterfinal game. No site listed, no time listed, but we do know it's going to be Thursday, February 19th for number 5 Hempfield at number 4 Seneca Valley. All right, to the bottom of the bracket, number 2 seed is the Newcastle Red Hurricane, champions of Section 1. Ralphie, once again, has his team ready to make a run at gold, 19-1. They're not in first-round action, but they'll play the winner of a first-round game between number 10 Pine Richland and number 7 Mount Lebanon. Pine Richland looked like they were going to finish in 2nd place, but back-to-back losses to North Hills and Seneca Valley in the last 2 days. No wiggle room in Section 1 this year. Dropped them all the way into a tie for 4th place. Meanwhile, their record, by the way, 11-11, the Rams. Mount Lebanon finished in 4th place in Section 2 with a record of 13-8. Pine Richland at Mount Lebanon. That game is Monday, February 16th at 7 p.m. with the winner taking on Newcastle. Number 3 seed Central Catholic. Mentioned them before. Co-champions in Section 2, 19-2 record. Heck of a season for the Vikings. They await the winner of the 6-11 game. 6th seed is the North Hills Indians. Runners up in, tied for 2nd with Seneca Valley in Section 1. North Hills will take on Imani Christian. They tied for 5th place in Section 2. Saints 6-11, Indians 15-7. Monday, 7 o'clock at North Hills, with the winner taking on Central Catholic. That Central Catholic game, by the way, Thursday, February 19th, will be played at Fox Chapel. The Newcastle game, I mentioned the Seneca Valley matchup in the 2nd round against Hempfield, to be determined, site to be determined, and the Upper St. Clair game, site to be determined. I'm imagining St. Clair and Newcastle will get a chance to host, but that is not official on the brackets. Never, ever, ever assume. So there's the 6A. One question answered as far as the who would be number 1, because there was that question a couple times over here in this postseason. Let's go to 5A now. In Class 5A, the number 1 seed, the defending champions, the Chartiers Valley Colts. Not really a big surprise there. Colts winners of Section 4, record of 19-2. They get the number 1 seed, and they will wait to see who they are playing in the preliminary round. One of 3 preliminary round games in Class 5A. they will get the winner of the preliminary round matchup between McKeesport and Montour. McKeesport hosting Montour. That game is Thursday, February 12th at 7 p.m. Tigers come in with a record. They had to win on the final night of the regular season to even get into the playoffs with the big slowdown victory over Gateway that thrilled many. 10-11, McKeesport in a tie for fourth place with Laurel Highlands and Latrobe. The Montour Spartans also needed to win, but they didn't. They lost to Moon, but Mars also lost, so they get in. 8-13 for the Spartans in the tie for fourth place. Montour against McKeesport, with the winner claiming the number 16 seed. Let's give you the other two preliminary round games, also on Thursday, February 12th. For the 15th seed, the Ringgold Rams into the postseason. They won their last game to earn the playoff spot. They finished in fourth place in Section 3 with a 12-9 record. They will host the Laurel Highlands Mustangs. Laurel Highlands with a victory on the final night of the regular season to get in, tied McKeesport and Latrobe for fourth place, 13-8. Laurel Highlands at Ringgold Thursday at 7 o'clock. Winner gets the 15th seed. And then finally, the other preliminary game in 5A is Mars against Latrobe. Mars mentioned they lost, still tied with Montour in Section 4. 9-13 is their final record. The Latrobe Wildcats out of Section 1 finished in fifth place, or actually tied for fourth place with Laurel Highlands and McKeesport. Those three teams all in preliminary round games. The Wildcats 9-12. Mars at Latrobe, that is for the 14th seed. All right, let's go back up to the main bracket now. In section, we talked about the winner of the McKeesport Montour game gets top seed, Chartiers Valley. The 8th seed is the Franklin Regional Panthers. Franklin Regional out of Section 1 finished in second place with a record of 13-8. They will be hosting the Shaler Titans. Shaler finished in second place in Section 2. So a pair of second place teams matching up in the 8-9 game. Shaler 13-9, Franklin Regional 13-8. 7 o'clock Thursday, February 17th. So that would be this upcoming Thursday for the Titans and the Panthers. 4th seed, the Moon Tigers. They finished in third place in Section 4 with a record of 18-3. The fact that 3 of the top 4 seeds are from Section 4, no surprise. Tigers earned the number 4 spot. They will be playing the Penn Trafford Warriors. Penn Trafford, the number 12 seed, or excuse me, the number 13 seed in the tournament. Penn Trafford finished even 11-11 as the third place team out of Section 1. Penn Trafford at Moon, Tuesday, the 17th at 7 p.m. 5 seed is the Gateway Gators, champions of Section 1, 14-7. They will host the Indiana Little Indians. Indiana, strong season as they finished in a tie for third place in Section 2 with a record of 13-7. Indiana at Gateway on Tuesday, February 17th at 7 p.m. All right, to the other side of the bracket, 2 seed is the Lincoln Park Leopards. Lincoln Park back after a rough season. We're so used to them being in the championship hunt. Last year was an anomaly, but they're back. Finished in second place behind Chartiers Valley, 16-5. They earned the number 2 spot, and they will play the winner of the Laurel Highlands Ringgold game, and that game will be at Lincoln Park on Tuesday, February 17th at 7 p.m. The 7th seed is the Peters Township Indians. Peters Township finished in second place in Section 3 with a record of 16-5. They will welcome the Hampton Talbots to Peters Township. Hampton finished in a tie for third place with Indiana, record of 12-7. Hampton at Peters Township Tuesday at 7 p.m. Thomas Jefferson gets the number 3 seed. TJ, champions of Section 3, 20-2 record, and they will await the winner of the playing game between Mars and Latrobe. That game, the first round game at TJ, will be Tuesday, February 17th at 7 p.m. And finally, the Penn Hills Indians, champions of Section 2 with a record of 15-6. They will host the South Fayette Lions. South Fayette finished in 3rd place in Section 3 with a record of 10-11. South Fayette at Penn Hills on Tuesday at 7 p.m. in Boys 5A. So 3 preliminary round games coming up Thursday, first round games all slated for next Tuesday in Class 5A boys. All right, let's go to 4A boys and tell you that the number 1 seed, and there was debate here. Do you pick one of the 2 teams that tied for the Section 1 title, Knock and North Catholic, or do you go with the outright 2A Section 2 champion, Quaker Valley? Committee goes with Quaker Valley. Quakers winning Section 2 with a record of 17-3. They will await the winner of the first round game between Bell Vernon and Burrell. The Bell Vernon Leopards, defending champs, finished in 3rd place in Section 3, a record of 13-9. Burrell, 3rd place in Section 1, 10-12. Burrell at Bell Vernon this Friday, February 13th at 7 p.m. Winner at Quaker Valley on Wednesday, the 18th at 7 p.m. 4th seed, what a great story. The Derry Trojans. First championship, section championship since 1957. I wasn't even around. That's how old that was. 15-6 champions of Section 3. The Trojans. They will be home. Electric atmosphere, I'm sure, as they welcome the Deer Lakes Lancers. Deer Lakes, boy, they had a big lead, almost pulled off the upset of North Catholic final night of regular season, but the Trojans came back, knocking Deer Lakes to 10-11 overall. Deer Lakes at Derry this Friday, the 13th at 7 p.m. Hopewell Vikings are the number 5 seed. Hopewell out of Section 2 in Class 4A, finished in a tie with Central Valley for second place. The Vikings 14-8. They will be hosting the Greensburg-Salem Golden Lions. A win and you're in game for the Lions on the final night of section play. They won. They're in 10-11 as they were finished tied for 4th in Section 3. Greensburg-Salem at Hopewell Friday the 13th at 7 p.m. Bottom of the bracket in boys Class 4A. The North Catholic Trojans get the number 2 seed, and with it, a first round bye. So sometimes we say it doesn't matter 2 or 3. This time it does. North Catholic co-champions with Knock, beating the Knights the second time around in Section 1 of Class 4A. 17-4 record for the great Jimmy Rocco. They will await the winner of the first round of the 7-10 game. 7th seed, the Elizabeth Forward Warriors out of Section 3 in Class 4, Section 3. They finished second to Derry, 13-8. EF will be home as the 7th seed to number 10 Avonworth. The Antelopes out of Section 2 finished in 4th place with a record of 10-11. Avonworth at Elizabeth Forward Friday at 7 p.m. So the Knock Knights get the number 3 seed. They don't get a bye. They'll be in action on Friday, 18-4 their record. They will be home to the East Allegheny Wildcats. East Allegheny 10-9, tied for 4th out of Section 3. EA at Knock Friday at 7 o'clock. And finally, Central Valley gets the 6th seed. They finished tied with Hopewell for second place in Section 2, 14-7. They will take on the Highlands Golden Rams. They finished tied for 4th with Deer Lakes in Section 1, a record of 11-9. Highlands at Central Valley Friday at 7 p.m. in boys Class 4A. So Quaker Valley gets the number 1 seed in 4A. Upper St. Clair, the number 1 seed in 6A. Those, I think, were 2 of the bigger question marks coming into the brackets being released. I don't think there was any question who would be number one in boys 3A. The Mohawk Warriors, the boys from Bessemer. Fantastic season, champions of Section 1, 19-1. They earned the number one seed. They will be home in the first round, which will be on Tuesday, February 17th. They will welcome, the laundry's done. Okay. They will welcome Waynesburg Central. Waynesburg Central, 6-15, the fourth place team out of Section 4 of Class 3A. Waynesburg Central at Mohawk. Oh, man, start traveling now. That game Tuesday at 7 p.m. You're going from Greene County to Lawrence County. Giddy up. All right, 8th seed, the defending champion, South Allegheny Gladiators. Finished in third place in Section 3 with a record of 13-8. I have one of the top players in the WPIAL, but they get the 8th seed. They will take on the Elwood City Wolverines, the fourth place team out of Section 1 with a record of 12-10. Elwood City at South Allegheny, Tuesday, the 17th, 7 p.m. at South Allegheny. All right, the number 4th seed is the Bishop Canavan Crusaders. They finished as the champions of Section 2, record of 13-8. Don't be deceived by that record. They played some strong competition, non-section, early in the year to get them ready for this time of year. They will host the number 13 seed Shady Side Academy, the fourth place team out of Section 3 with a record of 8-14. Shady Side Academy at Bishop Canavan, Tuesday the 17th at 7 p.m. All right, 5th seed is Southmoreland, the champions of Section 4 with a record of 14-7. Scotties will be hosting the Washington Little Prexies, the number 3 team out of Section 2 with a record of 11-10. Washington at Southmoreland, Tuesday at 7 p.m. All right, bottom of the bracket in Class 3A boys. 2 seed, Aliquippa finished second last year to South Allegheny in the district, finished second to Mohawk this year in Section 1. Still strong season for the Quips as they will be the number 2 seed and host the Stowe Rocks Vikings, the fourth place team out of Section 2 with a record of 7-14. That game will be played at South Fayette, so a neutral site for Stowe Rocks at Aliquippa, Tuesday the 17th at 7 p.m. The 7th seed is the Seton LaSalle Rebels. The Rebels finished runner-up to South Park in Section 3 with a record of 16-5. They will take on the Charleroi Cougars. Joe Dunn's Cougars finished in second place in Section 4 with a record of 13-9. That's Joe Dunn's old school Seton LaSalle, his new school Charleroi. Cougars and Rebels. That game is at Peters Township High School on the 17th, February 17th at 6 p.m. 3 seed, the South Park Eagles, champions of Section 3, 18-3 record. The Eagles will take on the Riverside Panthers out of Section 1. They finished tied for third with Elwood City, record of 15-7. Panthers and Eagles will play Tuesday the 17th, 7 p.m. at South Fayette High School, so a neutral site for Riverside South Park. And finally, the 6th seed, the Keystone Oaks Golden Eagles, 16-4 for Gogue. Second place behind Bishop Canavan in Section 2. Keystone Oaks will host Ligonier Valley. The Rams finished in third place in Section 4 with a record of 11-10. Ligonier Valley at Keystone Oaks, Tuesday, February 17th at 7:30 p.m. All right, let's go to boys Class 2A and see that at the top of the bracket is the Jeanette Jayhawks. Not saying it's not deserved, but I think a lot of folks thought that undefeated Sewickley Academy would be number 1. But remember, Jeanette beat Sewickley Academy last year. Not that last year should have anything to do with this year. Jeanette 19-1, spectacular season for the Jayhawks, champions of Section 2. They get the number 1 seed, and they will play the winner of the play-in game for the 16th seed. We'll go over the playoff games, or the playing games again, the preliminary round games. It will be Brentwood hosting Beth Center. Brentwood 12-9, the 4th place team out of Section 2. Beth Center, 4th place team out of Section 3 with a record of 12-10. Bulldogs at Spartans this upcoming Thursday, February 12th at 7 p.m. Winner gets the 16th seed and will take on Jeanette. For the 15th seed, the Union Scotties will host Greensburg Central Catholic. Union finished in 5th place in Section 4 with a record of 9-13. GCC 6-16, but they get in as the 5th place team out of Section 1. Greensburg Central Catholic at Union Thursday the 12th at 7 p.m. with the winner becoming the 15th seed. And finally, the other prelim game will be the West Green Pioneers visiting the Bentworth Bearcats. West Green 7-13, the 5th place team out of Section 3. Bentworth, the Bearcats finished in where's Bentworth? Oh, here they are. They finished in 3rd place. I was looking down toward the bottom. 14-6, pretty good season for the Bearcats. 3rd place out of Section 1. Bentworth hosting West Green for the 14th seed. That game will be Thursday at 7 p.m. So there you go. I guess you get the feeling I didn't think Bentworth would be in a playing game. All right, let's go over the 16 brackets. Mentioned Jeanette is the number 1 seed, and they will play the winner of Brentwood and Beth Center. The 8th seed is the Laurel Spartans. Laurel in Section 2, out of Section 4, finished in 3rd place with a record of 14-8. Spartans will take on Eden Christian Academy, the number 2 team out of Section 2. Warriors 15-5. That game will have a neutral site. Eden Christian Academy against Laurel Monday, a week from tonight, the 16th, 7 o'clock at South Fayette High School. Number 4 seed in this tournament, the Neshannock Lancers, co-champions out of Section 4. There were co-champions in Section 4 and in Section 3. Neshannock tied Our Lady of the Sacred Heart. Lancers get the 4th seed at 17-3. They will host the 3rd place team out of Section 3, Fort Cherry, 12-8. Fort Cherry at Neshannock, Monday the 16th at 7 p.m. 5th seed is the Clairton Bears, the number 2 team behind Section 1's Jeanette Jayhawks, 16-3. For Clairton, they will be taking on the Shenango Wildcats, the number 4 team out of Section 4 with a record of 15-6. Tough challenge for the Bears. Shenango at Clairton on Monday at 7 p.m. That's Monday, February 16th, so a week from today. To the number 2 seed, the Sewickley Academy Panthers, perfect 21-0, champions of Section 2. They'll play the winner of the Greensburg Central Catholic at Union game. 7th seed is Chartiers Houston. The Buccaneers, co-champs in Section 3, 18-4. They will host Winchester Thurston. The Bears finished in 3rd place in Section 2 with a record of 15-6. Winchester Thurston at Chartiers Houston Monday at 7 o'clock. 3 seed is Our Lady of the Sacred Heart, co-champs with Neshannock in Section 4, 18-4. Olsh on Monday, the 16th at 7 p.m. will host the winner of the West Green Bentworth game. And finally, the 6th seed, Jefferson Morgan, co-champs with Char Houston, 20-1, their record. They will be taking on Springdale, the Dynamos. Out of Section 1, a record of 12-9. They finished in 4th place. Springdale at Jefferson Morgan, Monday, the 16th at 7 p.m. All right, let's cross our fingers and see if we have boys Class A brackets correct. Excuse me. And they are. The number 1 seed is Neighborhood Academy. It's an 18 tournament, so let's just go right into the quarterfinals. Neighborhood Academy, champions of Section 2, 18-3. They will take on the 8th seed Summit Academy Knights. It's a pretty good Summit Academy Knights. They won twice on Saturday to close out the regular season. Still finished 4th place in Section 1 at 10-10. Summit Academy against Neighborhood Academy, the defending champs, on Wednesday, February 18th, 6 p.m., and that game will be played at Fox Chapel High School. All right, the 4-5 quarterfinal matchup. Again, Wednesday the 18th for this one. 4th seed, the Monessen Greyhounds. The runners-up in Section 2, record of 11-8. They will take on the number 3 team out of Section 1, Aquinas Academy, at 9-11. Crusaders and Greyhounds. That game is at Monessen on Wednesday, the 18th at 7 p.m. Bottom of the bracket, quarterfinals. Nazareth Prep, the Section 1 champs, record of 8-11. They will be taking on the 7th seed St. Joe's Spartans. St. Joe's 8-12. That game Wednesday, 7:30 at Fox Chapel. So Fox Chapel will host a doubleheader on Wednesday, the 16th. First game being 1-8, second game being 2-7 in the boys' Class A bracket. 3rd seed, the Avella Eagles. Sensational season, 17-5. They earn a home playoff game. They will be taking on the Sarah Catholic Eagles. Intriguing matchup. Eagles 3rd place in Section 2 with a record of 11-9. Sarah and Avella Wednesday at 7 p.m. All right, we are going to take one more quick break, and when we return, God bless our guest who has hung in there. One of the members of the WPIAL Basketball Steering Committee will join us to talk about the brackets. What else would he talk about outside of his various trips to Italy? It's the WPIAL Playoff Pairing Show presented by Edgar Snyder and Associates on the TribLive High School Sports Network.
This is Miles. He needs PT. Jess needs training. And Max needs both. And while they're all athletic, at AHN Sports Medicine, we know they each need a little something different to hit their goals. Our doctors and specialists pinpoint that difference and make a personalized plan to improve Miles's backswing and Max's throwing arm and Jess's form. Because at AHN Sports Medicine, we see you.
Stay plugged into local high school sports with TribLive HSSN. Catch live game broadcasts, in-depth articles, exclusive interviews, and weekly podcasts covering the teams and athletes you care about. Follow HSSN on Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, and Spotify for highlights, breaking updates, and behind-the-scenes content you won't find anywhere else. TribLive HSSN, your source for high school sports.
Hi, I'm Adam Goodnack, and I'm a student in Seton Hill University's Wookich School of Nursing. I did my clinical rounds throughout the COVID-19 pandemic, and it strengthened my belief in the path that I chose. I could really feel that I was making an impact. The faculty in my coursework at Seton Hill has prepared me to dive right into my field. I've received personalized support and expert guidance. I'm moving forward as a nurse of tomorrow at Seton Hill University.
Do you need custom printed materials for your school or organization? Hosting a fundraiser or special event? PrintSource can help. Visit printpittsburgh.com for a free quote on yard signs or banners, flyers and stickers, invitations, program books and tickets, even yearbooks. We are your single source solution for printed materials, signage, and so much more. Visit us online at printpittsburgh.com. PrintSource. Design, print, deliver.
The Rebel Yell podcast will keep you in the game all season long with 4 fresh episodes a week. Host Don Rebel highlights the team of the week, boys and girls players of the week, and delivers weekly updates for boys and girls hoops. Listen on tribhssn.triblive.com or stream on Spotify.
You're watching WPIAL basketball on the TribLive High School Sports Network.
All right, Don Rebel back. It's the WPIAL basketball playoff pairing show here on the TribLive High School Sports Network. 1,001 apologies to girls Class A. The brackets we were sent, the Class 2A brackets were on the girls Class A brackets, and searching diligently through, don't have them, can't find them. So check out social media. I'm sure they're there somewhere for girls Class A. Again, 1,001 apologies. All right, let's bring in the man, the myth, the legend. He is Mr. Bill Cardone. Sir William the Great, as he's known in many circles. How are you, sir?
I'm great. How are you doing?
How's retirement?
Best thing I ever did. I can do what I want when I want. It's the best.
Man, color me jealous, my friend. Color me jealous.
Yeah, well, you miss the relationships that you have with people. But as you said, travel is a great thing. And my wife and I continue to travel the world. So we're having a good time.
Awesome. You'll be doing a lot of local traveling over the next couple of weeks. You're still a member. Once at one time, you were the chair of the WPIAL basketball committee, and they wisely, despite your retirement, kept you as an adjunct member of the basketball committee. So, again, it's a busy time. It's a fun time, but obviously you still enjoy it.
I do. And again, it's the relationship that you've formed over the years, and this time of year, you get to see those people again, administrators, coaches, as well as officials, and, also get to deal with fine people like you there. So it's all good. It's all good.
Outstanding members of the media, right?
That's right.
So I wanted to ask you, before we get into any specifics, I believe this is the second year. The committee, before last year, everything runs in 2-year cycles, decided that, for the bigger sections, 8 or more teams, let's give an additional playoff berth. So if you are in a section with 8 teams, I don't know that there's any that are more than 8, then you get 5 teams, 7 or less, top 4 teams. A change, because it always had been top 4 teams make it, and it's like that in a lot of sports. Have you gauged the waters as far as, was that something that the committee likes, or could there be a change in the next 2-year cycle?
We really didn't discuss that today at our meeting. Obviously we had a lot of bracketing to do, and we did not do anything as far as section alignments either, which we typically do, but we did not now because of obviously numerous things that are going on with who's moving up and, just the different parts that are played.
Right.
The consensus, when we did it last time, like you said, was to give the 8-team sections 5 games or, 5 qualifiers and then 4 in the 7s. I can't really speak to if we're going to keep that, but I think that it has worked in this 2-year cycle. I think it's given some people some opportunities and, some good teams in that 8 sections. You can usually come up with some 5 pretty good teams.
Yeah.
And to limit them to 4 people or to 4 teams, I think the 5 is the way to go. And again, that's my opinion, not the consensus of the committee. But as I said, I think it's worked out well, and I think it will continue to go that direction.
Yeah, a lot of decisions, as you mentioned, the alignment and everything coming up, it will shape the landscape of WPIAL basketball over the next 2 years. Again, before we get into the brackets, just a quick basketball question. Are you a fan of the incoming shot clock that will start in a couple of years?
Yeah. Before when it all started coming out, I wasn't sure that I was really on board with it, just because of everything that's involved with adding the shot clock, to the various school districts. Budgets were set. It's not a cheap thing to do.
Right.
Um, and some things that the schools have to deal with. I think giving time for everybody to get everything going, and all the integral parts of it, who's going to run the shot clock, what happens if the shot clock fails, what do you do? And most of the officials, a lot of the officials that we have do a lot of college games. For them, they've been able to do it. But as we kind of got further into it, and obviously we've seen some things, go on, like the other night. There was a game that probably, if the shot clock would have been in, it might have been a different story.
Yeah.
And again, we don't know that, but I think that it's going to be a good thing. I think the kids will get used to it.
Yeah.
I think it'll speed the game up, and maybe even things out a little bit more. But
Now,
yeah,
I've always said, Bill, that I'm fortunate because I'm seeing some of the top games whenever I go out. So it's not like I'm seeing two struggling programs, but the shot clock doesn't really even come into. It's not even a mindset, except maybe late in the game if a team's trying to really squeeze clock. Most of these teams are getting up and down anyway.
Right. Yeah. And that was one of the things that I had said is, is there really a need for a shot clock because of the way teams are playing? You go to games, I go to games, we watch games, and there's a lot, I would say a great majority of the people are getting shots off before the 35
Right.
seconds already. And again, as you said, I think it's going to come down to more situational things that happen, not only, maybe in between quarters, halves, or the end of the game, you're holding for the last shot. Those opportunities obviously aren't going to provide themselves anymore. And I also thought that at one point it might take some strategy away from some of the coaches in situations like that. But, it's going to be an adjustment. Everybody will have to adjust.
Yeah.
And I think it'll be a good thing. I think it's time.
Agree. Bill Cardone, former athletic director at Hampton High School, member of the WPIAL basketball steering committee, kind enough to join us. All right, let's jump in. The first thing, obviously, the building of brackets. Some people know how it's done, some people don't, and we're not here to do a tutorial, but you start obviously with the number one spot. That's usually a no-brainer. But I thought this year more than others, there was great debate as far as excuse me, who should be at the number one line in several of these tournaments. I thought boys 6A with Newcastle Upper St. Clair, boys 4A with Quaker Valley, Knock, North Catholic, boys 2A with Sewickley Academy, Jeanette, girls 6A with Pine, Seneca, and Canamac, and then girls 4A with Blackhawk, Oakland Catholic. That there were some hard choices just to get the bracket going. Is that how you guys found? Am I right? Those brackets that I mentioned were kind of tough to get going.
The brackets that you mentioned, there was a lot of discussion about each one of those brackets. Not that there wasn't discussion about the other ones, but I think the other ones may have had some, clear cuts. But when you get into like the 4, 5, 6, 7, 8s, and 9s, then there's some discussion. But the ones that you mentioned, yes, there was a lot of discussion. The 6A boys, and I can just tell you the 6A boys bracket. You got two really good basketball teams, and when I'm saying this, I'm not slighting the rest of the field, but you got two really good basketball teams, two very well coached basketball teams, and two teams that have a great tradition.
Right.
they've had great seasons. Their records are pretty much identical. And I think what it came down to was the quality of play that they've done. And also, you have a defending champion in Upper St. Clair. And I think that's kind of where, we came up with Upper St. Clair 1 and Newcastle 2. And, we've done this in the past for other teams when they've kind of been equal. We've kind of looked and, the defending champ gets a little bit of credence. And they might not have the same team, but they're still the champions.
Yeah, I've always said in going to bat for you guys that, I don't think anybody looks at last year or looks in recent years from the get-go. When you're comparing and you're like, oh my gosh, how are we going to decide it? Instead of flipping a coin, you sort of lean on what teams have done, what programs have done the previous year. And I assume that mindset was also the reason why the Jayhawks ended up number 1 in 2A.
That's correct. And again, Swickley is a very good team, and Jeanette's a very good team, and Jeanette pretty much has, they were a young team last year, and they have pretty much their whole team back. And I think it came down to the same thing. You had the champion in Jeanette, and you had Swickley, who's had a great year. And but again, Jeanette, if you look at it last year, beat Swickley in the semis, goes on to win the championship. So we gave them that little nod because, again, they're the champs. And until they're unseated, they're the champs.
Quaker Valley wins their section outright, giving them maybe an advantage over Knock North Catholic. Same in girls 6A, Cannon McMillan wins their section outright, perhaps getting the advantage over Pine Richland and Seneca Valley in girls 6A. Girls 4A was interesting, so the committee must have felt Blackhawk was number 1 because Oakland Catholic was the defending champ, but they didn't get that nod.
Yeah, again, sometimes it's situational a little bit, and Blackhawk's been a champ too for a long time, but we kind of and again, a lot of discussion not only between the top 4 teams, where you have Blackhawk, you have Oakland Catholic, you have North Catholic, and then you had Bell Vernon, who's a very good team too. And we put Blackhawk at 1 because of their body of work this year, and Oakland again, a very good team. North kind of 2 losses, and they've had some outside losses, but 2 losses to Oakland Catholic, and so that's kind of why we had put them there. And on the boys' side, on 4A, again, you got the top 4 teams, in particular the top 3 teams, with Quaker Valley, North Catholic and Knock. North Catholic and Knock splitting,
right?
Quaker Valley running it. And the other thing that Quaker Valley's gone through some injuries this year, and they've got some players back. They got one of their top big men back, and I think the last 3 or 4 games that he's played in has made a great difference in them. So that's kind of why Quaker Valley got the nod there. On the girls' side, when you're talking about 6A girls, we put Upper St. Clair pretty high up there, above Pine Richland and Seneca Valley, and the reason being there was Upper St. Clair beat both of those teams, and Upper St. Clair is a very good team, and Pine Richland and Seneca are a good team, but that's kind of why Upper St. Clair got the nod, because of their wins over those 2 teams.
Yeah, I was surprised, but it makes sense. It does.
There were a lot of when we were in a meeting, I said there's going to be a little shocks around the world tonight in the WPIAL, but that's the way. It's the consensus of the committee.
No, I mean it's head to head is the great tiebreaker. So I mean, yeah, it was interesting, but the way you explain it, it makes sense. The one thing that you guys also did that I was happy to see, and I thought was the way to go, was in boys 5A, a lot of love for Section 4. Three, you had Chartiers Valley, defending champs, finishing first place. Lincoln Park back after a rough year last year, second, and Moon third. Yet I think all three of those teams proved that they were elite teams. You throw in Thomas Jefferson, and I'm glad that you guys kept those three, Char Valley, Lincoln Park, and Moon, in the top four, because I thought it was deserving.
Yeah. And again, top four teams there, pretty much anybody can win it on any night. And, we obviously thought Char Valley again, as the number one team. And then, when it came down to the 3 and 4, and again, Moon, a very good team,
Yeah.
but, they finished third in their section. And, Thomas Jefferson, they won every section game. I think they were like 20-2. They only lost a couple games. And again, a very good basketball team, very well coached team too, as are the others. But, when it came down to it, we thought that the section champ and the body of work that Thomas Jefferson did was a little bit better than a third place team. But again, any of those teams on any night could go out and win that.
No, I thought that was well crafted. I'll let you go, and again, I appreciate you waiting as long as you did. I'm kind of embarrassed by that, but
I'm sitting in Planet Fitness parking lot here. Hopefully, nobody's been calculating how much time I've spent in the parking lot. Some strange things happen in parking lots, but
one more for you.
Yep.
Of the 12 brackets, we sort of were focusing here. My questions were focusing kind of on the top of some of the brackets, but of the 12 brackets, what probably did you guys as a committee spend the most time on, and perhaps make a lot of changes on before you finalized it?
Well, I think one of the things that happens is your top 5 or 6 teams, kind of around there, you have a pretty good idea of where those teams belong. I think it's when you get into below 6, like almost, the 8, 9, 10, 11, 12,
right.
Somewhere into that range, and not particularly for anybody, but for everybody. We have those detailed conversations about where people should go. We try and, we look as much as we can into what one team's done against another team within section, who's won lately. We look at strength of schedule a lot on there. Who have you played? And we're firm believers is you got to step out and play people. And so I think most of the conversations that we have, not that we don't have them on the top part, there's kind of that middle of the road field that there's a lot of good teams there that could, also jump out and win some games there. So.
Well, it's we appreciate the time. I know it's kind of a no-win proposition for any committee when they're putting brackets together, because it's heavily scrutinized by coaches, by media, by fans. But that's part of the fun of getting the ball rolling, and then once the games begin, all this stuff is kind of forgotten until we get to start crowning champions at the Peterson Event Center. Job well done, Bill. We appreciate your time as always.
Yep. Hey, I would just tell you too that the committee, the basketball committee, just as well as any other committee that is put together by the WPIAL, we have people who see a lot of games and people who are in most areas of the WPIAL. So, the committees that are formed are very well represented through the WPIAL, and people watch games and go to games. And I think the expertise that they provide on any committee on the WPIAL is certainly well deserved. And as you said, we know we'll all be scrutinized. I'm sure it's probably already started on social media. People's fingers are
Avoid
probably
social
going.
media. Avoid
Yeah.
social media.
Avoid social media. Get rid of the phones, man. But great talking to you. And again, thanks for everything you guys do for the WPIAL. As always, you do a great job, and you as the leader are one in a million, Mr. Rebel.
Thank you, Mr. Cardone.
All right, see ya. Have a good day.
The great Bill Cardone, again, former athletic director, now retired and living the life. Him and his lovely bride traveling here, there, and everywhere. But he's still part of the WPIAL basketball committee. Has been for a long time. Again, he was the chairman at one point. So there you go. The stage is set. I don't know that I can add anything else. Big kudos to Chris Lackner. Big kudos to Bill Hartlip and all of our talented team of broadcasters who will be very busy over the next few weeks. I'm Don Rebel. Thank you for joining us. We hope you enjoyed it. The WPIAL Basketball Playoff Pairing Show presented by Edgar Snyder and Associates here on the TribLive High School Sports Network.